Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel here at Crypto Nation. Hey, if you're new here, it's totally free to subscribe. Hit the like button for post notifications. But anyways, let's get right on to it. So Bitcoin is doing good. Is that it's actually up 2.84%, 2.84% in the 7 day, and it's up 1.91 in the 24 hours. But I'm looking at Bitcoin is doing pretty good. It's almost up, but it's almost back up to 69K. And Ethereum is still holding, trading flat, just under 3,300. But anyways, but a lot of altcoins are still trading sideways, as you see here. And I wanted to, do an update on BitDIO coin. BitDIO, no, a lot of few of my channel subscribers got into the play. Um, I had kind of funny. I had got into the play, then I had got out, then got back in. You know, it the other day it pumped up to well, I can start off by saying it went all the way back down to a dollar. Excuse me, it went all the way down to like I think 75 cents. Originally about was it closer to 2 weeks ago? It crashed. Excuse me, it pumped all the way up to look at that 1 month chart where it pumped all the way up to like $4 and like 40 something cents. Came from 82 cents, and you look at there, and then after that it crashed all the way back down to like 75 cents. And then one thing I noticed that it held pretty good support at about 75 cents, and then it shot back up. You look at that 7 day chart here, then it shot back up to like a dollar. I think a dollar, yeah, shot back up to like a dollar 60 four after crashing all the way back down to like 75 cents. But now it looked like um, it could dip back below a dollar. For me, if it dips back below a dollar, I'm just gonna look at that as opportunity and pick up more. I'm already holding like 950 coins or shares or whatever of BitDIO. And now all of you may know is that BitDIO they migrated over to Mantle. That's what makes the play a little bit. Um, hold on, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, it okay, what did I leave off? Okay, held at about 75 cents, and then it shot back up. Take a look at that 1 day chart. You can see that from yesterday, we was up at a dollar 50, then we came all the way back down to like a dollar 23. But this whole time, I just been loading up this whole time. Like I said, I'm holding a pretty nice bag of it now, about a 900. My goal is to get up to like about 1,000. I want to get up to about 1,000 coins, about 1,000 bit dial. Then I'm going to stop right there for a little while to see what it does. Maybe it'll dip back down to like 75, 80 cents, or it could go lower. I don't know. This thing could dip down to like 50 cents. But honestly, I don't see this coin dipping down to 50 cents. It could go back down to its level of support, maybe at about 75 to 80 cent. Then it's probably going to shoot back up. Maybe it'll do what it did about 2 weeks ago when it shot all the way up to like um over $4 and like 40 cents in like one day. That was over 400% in one day. It did about a few weeks back. But one thing I noticed about this is it's very volatile, which means it's a good play for like if you're doing a swing trade or for the short term. But if you want to hold this coin long term, all the way up until like maybe the end of 2024, going into 2025, this could definitely. I believe this coin honestly can hit about $20 or more because the market cap is super low on Coinbase now. Like I said, they migrated to Mantle, so they're not running on the Ethereum network no more. They're on Mantle, but ironically, you can still buy this coin on Coinbase, which means that on Coinbase, this thing has to be going. It has to be under that very low market cap. That's why it's very volatile. But Mantle, you can't even buy Mantle on Coinbase. You only can buy it on the Coinbase wallet, I believe. But the fact that BitDIO, even though they migrated, you can still buy it on Coinbase, which means hey, you can still make money off this. I'll say the play is somewhat risky, but like it's a couple of us that's in this play. Always got to do your research. But one thing I did like about this coin, this project, BitDIO, it doesn't. There is no team behind it. There's no company or team behind it. It's pretty much the coin holders, the whales. Not to be behind the bush. It is I think this coin is being kind of manipulated by the whales at this point. But hey, you just got to ride the wave. We could just do what they're doing. Ride the wave. Do what the whales are doing. I believe the whales they be accumulating at this price range of about $1.20. But like I said, it's impossible for us to dip back below a dollar. Most definitely, this could definitely dip back below a dollar. But like I said, if it dips back below a dollar, I'm gonna load up on. I'm definitely gonna load up on more. Like I said, I'm at 950 coins. My goal is to get up to 1,000. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get my 1,000 coins today, just because we dipped. You look at the one day, we're down 16% for the day. So, you know, the fact that we're down 60%, that's opportunity to buy more. Take a look at that 7 day. We're down 10% for the 7 day. The 1 month is still up 45% for the 1 month, from that big pump it did a few weeks back. Look at the all-time chart, it's down 20%. But yeah, but I believe this coin is gonna eventually is gonna explode again, and then after it explodes, it'll dip again. It will dump. So it is good to take profits if you eventually this coin will explode once the crypto market starts to the altcoins start to come back up. But I believe this coin is gonna but definitely, like I said, definitely take profits if you're up a nice bag on this play, because it's definitely gonna, after a major pump, this thing is definitely gonna dump. As you can see that chart, just like I showed you guys in that 1 month chart right here, that day when it went up 400% in one day, it definitely dumped after that, because most of everybody, obviously the smart people, took profits, wait for it to come back down before they bought back in. But hey, that's how you got to play this crypto market. You just got to know how to play the game. With leave the emotions out, and just play the game. That's how we got to do this. But anyways, that's my update on that. By the way, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. A lot of you guys are forgetting to hit the like button. Some of my videos is not getting out there very good, so make sure you hit the like button. Get this video, then subscribe, like. That way you get the post notifications. And yeah, and also there's a lot going on. The Bitcoin conference is going on. Michael Saylor talk, RFK talk, RFK Jr. or you don't know who that is. That's Robert F. Kennedy's son. He's the nephew of John F. Kennedy, RFK. So yeah, he's the nephew of John F. Kennedy and the son of Robert F. Kennedy. Unfortunately, back in the day, back in the 60s, they were both assassinated. But those were two great men. But his son, RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I believe that he can pass the torch. He supports Bitcoin. I think he even supports Bitcoin even better than Trump, because at one point, not to be behind a bush, at one point Trump was talking against Bitcoin and crypto. He didn't believe it. If you look closely, if you pay attention, Trump just recently started supporting crypto and Bitcoin. But RFK, if you look at his track record, he was always supporting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. RFK. Me personally, I'm not a political person. If I was able to, I'll definitely vote for me. I'll probably vote for RFK, just because he's not a Democrat or a Republican. He's already made it. He's an independent. Me personally, and that falls in the line with what I believe in. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. You know what I mean? I'm more like like in between. I'm just for my rights. Long as you ain't, taking away my rights and stuff like that. That's why I like RFK. He's not with no parties. Like, why can't we have another party? Independent party who don't want to be a Democrat or a Republican. You know what I mean? But anyways, there we have it. There's This is Michael Saylor talking at the keynote right here. See.
And then 20% of the upside, about 4% a year if you're investing in normal assets. That means it's a 25-year asset. Treasuries, you're going to get a yield, but the 3.5% after-tax yield goes against the 7% monetary inflation. Maybe your money lasts 30 years. Capital in a mutual fund where you pay a 1% fee, 100 years. That's about the best you're going to get. If you manage to buy a diversified portfolio at 10 basis points, the counterparty risk is going to drive you to a 1% cost. So those are your financial assets. We're running the world on a 20th century set of ideas, and on average, a financial asset is going to last you 30 years. We all know inflation dilutes the value of financial assets. But inflation is just the tip of the iceberg. You're also going to get diluted by tariffs and tolls and torts and transfers, taxes. We got all sorts of taxes, income tax, capital gains tax. Every time you vibrate and move the money, you get taxed on the money. And then if the taxes don't take you and the torts don't undo you, you've got weather and competition and obsolescence and politics and catastrophe. Those are the things that dilute the value of your capital over time. And if you want to maintain economic energy, you have to fight against that friction. Well, most people realize that's a frustrating endeavor and it's a no-win endeavor. So they give up on financial assets and they start turning to physical assets to preserve capital. Well, here's the physical asset, a Ferrari. Not a good way to keep your money forever, though, because after 5 years, you've spent as much on the insurance and the upkeep and the depreciation as it's worth. Yachts aren't much better. If you spend 10% of your money operating it, you also get hit with depreciation. Don't store your money in yachts. A home in Miami Beach, if you buy a $10 million house, you better come up with $10 million to maintain the house over 17 years. Now you've got no money left. Silver, 22 years. A warehouse, 40 years, maybe 50 years. Bar of gold, 62 years. A painting, 72 years. Land, the average property tax in the United States is 1.1%. That means your money is going to last 91 years unless the government reassesses the value of your property. Then it's going to last less than 91 years. The oldest family ranch in the United States is King Ranch. They made it 173 years. Every other family in the country failed. And here's the longest held property, the Crown Estate in the United Kingdom. You could say the royal family held it since 1066, but on the other hand, it passed from the Plantagenets to the Stuarts, through the Lancasters and the Yorks, and eventually found its way to the Hanover family. And so maybe 7 different families split that. None of them got to take it with them. So physical assets you might think might last 1,000 years. Probably about 50 to 75 years is the best you're going to do. Entropy is diluting the value of your physical assets. It's sucking the capital, the energy out of them. There's a reason it's called earth and not heaven. Because politicians are very creative. They got a city tax, a county tax, a state tax, a federal tax, a transfer tax, a usage tax on the property. And if that doesn't get you, there's rent control, price control, or a culture shock. Then you got competition. You might get discriminated against. There's recession. The currency can collapse. Your tenants won't pay you. Someone will slip and fall on the front sidewalk and sue you. There's weather, war, crime, and catastrophe. And if energy prices go through the roof, it's going to be hard for you to make a go of it. Physical capital is not a simple solution. Something I learned at MIT, the 3 laws of thermodynamics. You can't win. You can't break even. But you can't get out of the game. So you could stop right here and be a little bit depressed. But then again, we don't want to lose. So you start thinking, what if we could find a way out of the game? Then we could break even. Then you could win. Satoshi found a way. He gave it away. And he went away. And that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital capital. That's what he created.
But anyways, if you guys been under a rock, that's Michael Saylor. He's like one of the biggest Bitcoin buyers. He's heavily invested into Bitcoin. But anyways, he's did his keynote at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Tennessee. Definitely check it out. A lot of great speakers. I think Eric Snowden did a keynote as well. That one was pretty good. He dropped Eric Snowden. He also dropped some gems during the Bitcoin conference. But anyways, that is my take on BitDIO update and Michael Saylor, RFK, the Bitcoin conference. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend. Peace.